Kia ora guys, welcome back to the Black Jersey. My name's Max, I'm the host of this channel, and a big thank you to my patrons as per normal. Always appreciate your guys' support. Today's video, it's the Springbok training squad for the Rugby Championship. They've taken a very similar selection approach to their actual game plan approach. It's going to be, it's coming to the opposition, but to the opposition, try stop it. It's not really too much of a surprise, any of the selection, apart from one particular uncapped player I'm going to talk about soon, who has not appeared for the Springboks before. Some very interesting calls regarding those type 5 forwards as well. So yeah, make sure to subscribe if you enjoy this video. Let's get into it, starting with the props. Thomas du Toit, Steven Kickoff, Vincent Cog, Frans Malherbe, Oxen Chair, Trevor Inyakani, all world-class players. All of them. They're very difficult to stop at the set piece. Thomas du Toit hasn't had a ridiculous share of minutes throughout the World Cup cycle at all, especially throughout the lot of 2022, even after that red card against England, for example, but clearly he is that sixth guy in that pecking order. It's just that Inyakani, Cog, being able to cover both sides of the scrum, they have just had far more minutes than I was expecting them to get throughout the cycle. Kickoff, very good to have him there for experience. And Chair, world class, probably one of the best props in the world right now. Frans Malherbe, about to be one of the best coaches in the world once he retires after the World Cup. I'm pretty sure that's going to end up happening, but if it doesn't, I guess maybe he'll go to a player coach transition period instead. But yeah, props, nothing major to say over there. All world-class players who deserve to be there, well picked, good selections. At hooker though, Dweba, he continues to be a player that I see a lot of comments about. People are never convinced about him, and I've never seen the evidence from him to say that he is the true heir apparent. Marx and Mbonambi are not spring chickens, as we all know. Malcolm Marx is in the prime years of a hooker, while Mbonambi is definitely getting ready to give up his spot at international level due to retirement. So we do need a proper heir apparent right now at hooker from South Africa, and it doesn't appear to be like there's one in the ranks and stuff. It's pretty weird to see that lack of an heir apparent at hooker, especially considering where there's so much faith over a halfback. Over to lock though, no huge surprises. Lou Diaga, Eben Etzebeth, Marvin Ori, and believe it or not, RG Snyman has made it into the team, which is something that's really come out of the blue for me, to be honest. Franco Mostert can cover both lock and six, same with Peter Steph du Toit. Dion Forey can cover hooker and flanker, so they're of course able to do that, but guess what? Jean Klein, who played 5 tests for Ireland, should the IRFU allow the Boks to get him into the team, he is going to be added in as an extra player for this team. Klein hasn't represented the Irish since 2019, of course, when Joe Schmidt selected him over Devon Toner, so yes, he is indeed eligible for the Springboks again, but he continues to live in Ireland, he continues to play for Munster, so it's going to be very interesting how this whole selection debate turns out, because a lot of the Irish people really wanted John Klein to get a recall, but clearly the Springboks really want him quite badly. Over to the loose forwards, Sia Kolisi has been picked. I have got no idea what's going on over there, but it appears that Kolisi is going to recover from his ACL injury in time, and I'm hoping that these guys are actually going to be able to play him, and they're not just sucking up room in the squad and stuff, because man, it is really going to be a true challenge. Good to see they've stuck with Marco van Staden as well over Marcel Coetzee. Considering Jacques Nienaber's love for experienced players, I had this wee hitch at the back of my mind that old Coetzee was going to get a recall, but I'm quite happy to see Marco van Staden continuing to avoid injury and staying in the squad, because Marco van Staden, he's a world-class player. We all know that, makes massive hits when he's carrying as well. We can never stop watching highlight reels of that kind of stuff. Vermeulen though, I don't know about that one. Dwayne Vermeulen, just over time, he's really lost the ability to carry hard, tackle hard. He's lost the true mongrel, and I feel like he's kind of in the wider ranges of the squad, that wider training squad, for the sake of his leadership, for the sake of guiding the guys off the field. And I feel like maybe Vermeulen's going to be another one of those guys like Malherbe, who's going to end up being a coach. Very good to see Jasper Wiese over there, even though the Leicester fans do consider him to be a double-edged sword. Wiese is the first choice number 8 for them right now. He is a great player. Good to see him there. And Jean-Luc Dupré, player. I've rated him for a long time, but he has not played a heck of a lot of tests, so better late than never, I guess. Good to see him getting a look in, though I can't say the same about his brother Dan, which is a real shame because Dan is also a world-class player, Dan du Preez. Now, over to the backs, 5 halfbacks. They've only got 3 hookers, they've got 3 fly halves, and yet they've got 5 halfbacks. Jacques Nienaber, mate, what are you up to? What on earth are you up to? Seriously, like, I know that everyone, including my watch that was just going off, is in love with the way Grant Williams plays. He's highly rated by everybody, but 5 just seems a little bit excessive. Maybe they're not going to play de Klerk and Hendrikse in certain legs of the tour, since they are the first choice players, de Klerk off the bench and Hendrikse starting by the looks of things as of how 2022 went. Herschel Yancey is good to see still on the radar though, because, you know, he is a very strong informed player, and even though Reinach is more experienced and probably has the inside running to go to the World Cup, it is nice to see Yancey's and, well, Williams haven't been forgotten about. Over to the fly halves though, well, Elton Yancey's, he has definitely been forgotten about. He's not there. Mani Lebok, some people are trying to say like his form's starting to go a little bit downhill, but I'm happy to see he's there because, you know, last year he had a real bit of a breakout season and stuff. You know what? You got to just go for form with third choice players if there's no really clear choice guy. Handra Pollard, great to see him back from injury. That guy is going to be huge at the World Cup. He's going to be absolutely massive. And Damien Willemse, he's the guy that's the first choice for, he's the second choice there for 10, and he's the second choice for 15, so very good to see he's there as well. Midfield, goodness me, I'm getting sick of seeing Jacques Nienaber doing nothing about it. Lucan Yuam, Damien Dialendi, Andre Esterhuizen there, and Jesse Creel. Mate, I'm getting really, really worried about the Springboks' lack of midfield depth ahead of the World Cup. I've talked about this in my depth chart video before, so just luckily Dialendi and Arm are world-class players who can take all those massive hits over and over again. Honestly, I'm just praying that neither of those guys get injured again because, you know, losing Dialendi in particular would be a huge blow. As for which one of them is going to get dropped ahead of the World Cup, I guess we'll find out. Outside backs, no surprises either. Kurtley Arendse, Cheslin Colby, Philly LaRue, Makazole Mapimpi, Caden Moody, all world-class players. The lot of them. Moody is just 20 years old. He is going to be an absolute star in the future. He is the future of the Springbok number 15 jersey. Mark my words, that guy is going to be world-class once he reaches his peak. Mapimpi and LaRue, even though those guys are both in their 30s, congratulations to them. At the start of this World Cup cycle, when they got picked for the Lions series, I thought they would play against the Lions, then say goodbye to international rugby, but they have gone the distance. They are outside backs in their 30s, and they are going to play another World Cup. For LaRue, it will be a third, and for Mapimpi, it's going to be a second. Well done, hats off to those two. Great to see Cheslin Colby in there as well after avoiding injury, and Kurtley Arendse, well, man, scored 7 tries at test level last year. Bring it on again. He's going to be a star again. Good stuff. Overall for the Springboks, all very good players, all deserving to be there, aside from, you know, the excessive amount of halfbacks. But you know what? If they want to build depth, at least they are taking it seriously in the key decision-making positions of the squad. You know, du Preez, clearly he's the third choice number 8. Good to see they're going to give him minutes. Dion Forey, he can cover both lock and he can't cover lock, he can cover hooker and flanker. No idea what I was talking about there. I was getting him confused with du Toit or something. Goodness me. Clearly I'm just confused for all the customer service in my side hustle. But yeah, good to see, like I said, they're covering to get the depth of the key decision-making positions. I'm going to end the video over here, guys. Really appreciate you guys for viewing and stuff. Make sure to subscribe down below. Check me out on Instagram and check me out on Twitter as well. Always appreciate you guys for coming along, and I'll see you later from Max.